Hey guys, it's Jennie with the Wolek Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I am going to talk about today the last two of the six personal perspectives, and those would be removing our limiting beliefs and be accountable. It's so crazy because if you're inside of your journey with Jennie, you guys saw that I just had a coaching call and I'm just making sure everything's working over there. Okay, cool. I just had a coaching call. And so I have been with Keller Williams for 12 years now. And I have bought into coaching and training and classes all these years. All these years. I've attended Bold a couple times. You see all my trophies over there. I think it's 16. And today I had a coaching call. And with this coach, and all coaches, of course, we want them to hold us to what we say is important to us and our goals. And that's why we invest in paying them every month, is to be held accountable, to move us forward. That's what coaching and accountability is all about. And I think that some of us may be really good at BS. Yep. We have become so good at buying into our own crap that we allow ourselves off the hook a lot. We know, there's so many zillions of bold laws that relate to this. And today in my coaching call, I literally, as I was saying the words, they were coming out of my mouth, total crap, making up reasons, excuses. I was so laughing at myself in my head while these words were coming out because it was so ridiculous. And I only trust that my coach, although being very stern and firm with me, I hope he was giggling inside because he knew that I was as well, because I was so full of crap. So I share this with you because this is another E to P. Can you guys see my little go from E to P? That's another six of the six personal perspectives. And that's where we've talked on this before, and that's where your entrepreneurial self, goes to purposeful. And I feel like so many of us that have found some success and we're rocking and rolling and the mega agents, whatever, that's all crap. But I feel like we have a pretty high E. Like our natural self can get away with not always being purposeful all the time. And actually my call today started with just admitting that I'm a mess. I share with you guys all the time that inside this brain are all these different projects going on, processes, procedures, systems, scripts that I'm always thinking about. And he gave me a great tool for how to do that. So before we dive into removing our limiting beliefs and being accountable, which I failed on both of those today, I want to share with you some of the things that I just learned about how to, what he said here was that my struggle is that I have different ideas in my head, and they allow me, my thinking about them happening in the future, maybe near future, maybe in a month, is that they stay up here. They keep floating up here. And I've gone from notebooks to paper calendar to jot things down. Of course, my phone. Of course, my Google Drive, and we have everything in Drive. And I'm still just a mess. I always am working to be better, and I still am a mess. If you can relate, yeah, just let me know. And so here's what he said. So he asked me these questions. What needs to be done? So these are the 4 questions I'm going to ask you. What needs to be done? For me, I'll use one of my examples. Our 2020 team planning day is set in late October, and that needs to be prepared and planned. And I'm really the sole person to own the big ideas for that. So how much time will it take is the second question. How much time will it take to plan or to think about, have thinking time around what needs to be done for that event? And the third question is, who can help me? Is there anyone or a system or tool that I can leverage out that they can help me? And then the fourth question is when will this get done? So when am I going to time block that thinking, planning time on my calendar? Because see, once I thought through that and we just did it in real time, I, took, here's the date that it needs to be done and backed up a couple weeks, went ahead and time blocked an hour because I thought that would be the amount of time that would be needed for me to line it all out. In this time, it is really blocked with eliminating distractions and technologies and really thinking through, thinking about who can help me and what needs to be done. And I already got it on my calendar. And now what he says is that by doing this little exercise, that gives me permission to stop thinking about that. Do you guys ever just have too much in your head that you're like that hamster wheel that we talk about where you're spinning and spinning and spinning and you can't move forward to get anything else done? That's me a lot. He also said quality long-term results come from quality long-term focus. Thought that was pretty powerful as well. So this gives me permission to stop thinking about it. And honestly, I just in that exercise of taking 2 future events and putting planning and thinking time on the calendar, now I just have to run the play. Now I just have to follow my calendar every week, right? Now that's what has to happen. So inside of that, I hope you see that there's definitely some 6 personal perspectives inside of that exercise. Time blocking, knowing my big rocks, what matters most, going from E to P, being purposeful with my time as well. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. All right, so going to removing our limiting beliefs. These are the words that I actually just said to my coach. It was around my commitment to contact 10 co-op agents that we have had deals with this year. And my goal was to reach out to them, thank them, of course, for being great to work with. I've even shared this script so you guys can scroll and find it recently. I think the picture says co-op calls. And it's a simple script, and it's coming from gratitude, and it's asking them, I know you're not making a move, you're not going anywhere. However, do you know we have a position on our team that we're looking to fill? Do you know any great agents like you that would be interested in thinking about the opportunity with a team? It's a very simple call. Well, when I made these calls last week, I made 6 attempts. I think I talked to 5. I left a voicemail with 1, and the goal was 10. So I didn't hit my goal that I'd committed to. And then what do you think the results were? Well, I didn't really practice the script much before I just set off and did it. I didn't really believe it or feel it. I mean, of course, I believe that they're great people and all. I just was honestly insecure and not buying in and uncomfortable. For me, those calls were like calling expireds or for sale by owners. I hadn't worked with these agents. My agents had worked with these agents, so they had the relationship. And it felt weird and uncomfortable. And what do you think that the results were? Not super great. Because of course I didn't follow the script exactly. I got fluffy and probably had some upswings at the end. I mean, all the things that you can do wrong when it comes to getting buy-in and commitment and a positive response, I failed all over the place. And so I didn't get great results. I didn't get any names of people. I did have some nice conversations with agents, hopefully deepening that relationship so it's more comfortable to call again in the future, and invite them to events that we may have. And yeah, so on my call today, I was sharing those results and the reasons why I didn't continue to make the calls that I said I would. And it was because I didn't get good results. So, when you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. And I wasn't getting verified that the effort I was putting out was producing a positive return that I was looking for. And so because of that, I quit. And then I looped it back to my limiting beliefs. I fear that they don't want to talk to me. They don't have interest in a team. They don't know anybody. I'm bugging them, which is so crazy because it's exactly the same limiting beliefs that I had in my early days of real estate when I would reach out to buyers and sellers and offer them assistance to help them. It's so crazy that even though we can acknowledge and realize what we're doing, we still do it anyway. So that was my limiting belief, was that they don't want to talk to me, they don't like me, whatever the thoughts were. And that held me back from my goal. Well, in true coaching fashion, then I got to make a commitment to get those calls in next week. And I get to get uncomfortable. Yeah. So you guys hold me to that. All right. So we're talking about removing our limiting beliefs. And let's just talk about what that means. High achievers remove their beliefs, their thinking. They get rid of those that are holding them back. A lot of times I'll tell this story that, when the thought comes in your brain, whatever it is that is holding you back or that fear, I learned this a long time ago. If you guys remember Jason Edwards, he was one of our first Bold coaches back in 2011. And he would always tell this story where he would tap himself on the head, like when he was trying to go to bed, and that those thoughts would get into his brain, and he would tap himself on the head and then tap himself on his nightstand. So to symbolize, okay, thought, I got you. Now you sit right here, and in the morning I'll pick you up again and I'll deal with you then. So that way you're able to have a good night's sleep. And I remember teaching that method to Mia when she was a little girl. And so she would have nightmares and thoughts, and she couldn't go to sleep or whatever it was. And I would teach her the tap on the head, tap on the nightstand trick. And then I just started using that also in life. So whenever I would have a negative thought, I would tap it to acknowledge that thought is there. And then I would, can you see my hand? I'd tap it and bless it. So I'm like, bless and release, bless and release. I got you, I hear you, and now get out of my head. So that's how that has evolved over the years. And people that I've shared that with, they would, notice that I am doing that. So yeah, that's my weird thing that I do. But I'd like you to take this time. It's just me here by myself today, so I'm not going to spend too much time or go the full hour. I just would like for you to think of a time when you had a limiting belief and you knew that you needed to remove it. How did you do it? And what new successes came your way once the limiting belief was removed? We teach this in QL for young adults. This is a powerful exercise for them. We actually have them share, they think, they write down all the things that they've ever told themselves or what they've interpreted that people are thinking about them. They write down that limiting belief. They share it with the classroom. They reframe it and turn it into an affirmation and the truth, and they tear it up, they throw it in the trash can. They are literally removing that limiting belief from their world. So that is some good ways to think about removing our limiting beliefs. And then next, let's go on to be accountable. I think we kind of started the call here with the being accountable part. And you can be a victim or you can show up and you can own it. And today I was being a victim of my own, on my own accord, and literally laughing at myself as I was saying the words that were not taking ownership of what I said I would do. You know, the most painful part about not doing that is losing trust with others or with yourself. So if you are making commitments or starting projects, which I tend to do a lot actually, and I don't finish or follow through, I'm just letting myself down or others down all around me over time, more and more and more. And so I just encourage you to, whether you're accountable to a business coach that you pay money to, a peer partner, your team leader, or a productivity coach, any other human that will believe in and buy into your goals, and then check in and ask how you're doing on those. Because I don't know about you, and I say this a lot, is as a person, we tend to judge other people based on their actions, what we can see. If they say they're going to do something and they don't do it, then we judge them on that. And then we tend to judge ourselves based on our intentions. I have good intentions. I intend to do this or that. And if it's still in my head and I'm not sharing it with anyone, then nobody really needs to know about it and I can get away without needing to do it. So make sure that you're showing up as an accountable person. We don't use victim language. We don't complain. Whenever you are taking people through the career visioning process, this is part of the how you win with me line of questions, is because I'm listening for how you talk about your past or experiences that happened to you, because at the end of the day, it's about how you solve that problem, grow from it, work from it, and then find success. So that is where I'm going to stop today. Thank you guys if you were able to join in and watch. I hope you learned a little something, and then let me know any other videos or webinars that you want to talk about. We just wrapped up the 6 personal perspectives. You can find them all on YouTube. I also posted them on KW Connect. If you want to follow me there, you can see a huge library of videos just for real estate agents. Hope you have the most amazing day. Talk to you soon. Bye.